Wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
And good morning, everybody. What's going on? We bring it to you live, the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment here on KDAWN 101.5 FM. The Talk of Las Vegas. I'm Mark Hoke, host of the Mark Hoke Show. Very happy to have all of you joining us on a post-Summer Slam Sunday. That's right. Had a little bit of action going down in Cleveland last night, and we're going to break it all down for you. And it's a little bit of a celebration today as we cross our third anniversary of the Mark Hoke Show. So we're very happy for all of your support. Thank you so much out there. We greatly appreciate it. And we're going to look forward to bringing you a lot more of the best in pro wrestling on KDAWN. Of course, I have to bring in two guys that have been great helps to me, especially over the last year. Made a couple new friends along the way, and that's part of the fun of pro wrestling. So I think we're just going to pop these guys in here right now. Let's welcome in the president of wrestling, Phil Stamper, and from Sports Guys Talking Wrestling down in Austin, Texas, Stu Myrick. Gentlemen, welcome.
What's up?
Good morning.
We're all peppy after that Summer Slam.
At least it wasn't an AEW pay-per-view, so we weren't up till 1 a.m., so that's okay.
Yeah, that is very true. That is very true. Well, some of us weren't up till 1 a.m. Actually, I think I passed out at midnight and gave in. I tapped out. I was working all day yesterday. But a wild night in Cleveland, and we're going to break that all down. Of course, a lot of other news, some things happening in AEW, including a McMahon. Yikes. A McMahon. This is going to be an interesting discussion. We got walls being smashed in, people getting suspended, all sorts of crazy stuff. So we're going to talk all about it today with you on the Mark Hoke Show. And if you're in the chat box, by the way, we are streaming on Facebook, X, and YouTube. So first thing to do is subscribe. That would be a smart move, because then you don't miss anything that we put up, like all these great videos these guys get to be in. And, you know, they love it every second of it. And when I clip them up and throw them up there for you. So get on there, subscribe right now. Just click that button. We'd really appreciate it. And, of course, follow us on X at Mark Hoke Show and Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show. Guys, what a night that was last night, huh? That was something.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot to take in. A lot to take in. But I think Michael Cole said it best at one point. This one's going to be remembered as the night that the Judgment Day went kablooey. I mean, I don't know if there's really any other way to put it.
Well, is it dead, or is it now going to be? I don't know. Are we going to get Judgment Day black and red? Like,
I hope not. Let's not do the black and red. Look, Bullet Club is split into like 43 different factions already, and and they're not even the most popular in New Japan. Let's not split let's just look. Judgment Day, as we know it, is gone. Rest in peace. They had a good run. Whatever comes out of this, it's not the Judgment Day that we all have grown to love or whatever.
Right.
So I will be interested to see what happens tomorrow night on Raw. I think they're going to be in Tulsa. In fact, Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'll be interested to see what whatever is left of the Judgment Day, looks like. Is it going to be Finn, JD, Dom, Carlito, and Liv now? And where does Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley go? And wow,
yeah, it's something. Phil, your thoughts? Because I don't think that putting a new Judgment Day together, I don't know that. It just doesn't seem the same without Damian Priest and Rhea in it. It's not as powerful a group, I think. But
I mean, I've already been feeling with JD McDonough and Carlito, like they didn't fit. So now they're
Yeah.
like the last people standing. Will they be the new Judgment Day by themselves as a comedy duo? And Finn's doing his thing, and Damien's doing his thing, and Rhea's doing her thing, or will Rhea and Damien now form a new faction and take on Dom and Liv?
I think that match is going to happen. That's got to happen.
I will say what I don't think you're going to see a new faction from Damien and Rhea just because they don't need it.
That is true.
They're good. They're good by themselves. They're popular by themselves. They're over by themselves. Why put them in another faction? Now I do think we will see some mixed tag with Damien and Rhea against Dom and Liv, or what Liv and choose your remaining Judgment Day member
and Finn
and Finn's Finn's all in there as well. But I don't see them making their own faction. I think they're gonna keep rising as solo acts there on Raw.
I want to compliment all of them though, in that when this whole thing started out, Edge was the one that was running this thing. Mm-hmm. And if you remember right, they whacked him out of there very early on in the Judgment Day. And I sat there and said, you just did what?
Yeah.
Where is this group going to go now that Edge is out of there? But they did a fantastic job. I mean, that was one of my favorite factions in WWE recently, and credit to every one of them for putting it together and being dominant and just doing what they're supposed to be doing as a faction. It was pretty impressive.
It was. And look, I love Adam Copeland. I got to meet him when AEW was here in Austin a few months ago, and just a wonderful guy. I'll be honest though, Edge, starting Judgment Day, it just, I don't know, there was something missing. And I would say Judgment Day got like infinitely better once they booted Edge out. Of course, soon thereafter, Edge, leaves WWE, heads to AEW, all that good stuff. But I think Judgment Day got a lot better, and they just kept growing. And they kind of filled, shall we say, a void when Cody, defeated Roman and the bloodline kind of, transformed, I guess. They filled that void for a little bit.
Yeah, they did a great job. Phil, you're shaking your head on that.
I went back and forth. Last night I was thinking about where is the bloodline? Where is Judgment Day for Damien? Like, they've really let Damien do his own thing. And I was like, well, you couldn't have both of the top titles be defended by a guy who has a group who has his back all the time. So it was sort of like, all right, I see how they're distinguishing this. And I was seeing the line about what they were going to do with Finn eventually. And I didn't know they were going to pull that trigger last night, but I'm kind of glad they did, because I do think Finn needed it more than any of them. I think he needed something to change up what he was doing. I will say though, regardless of that, I think Damian Priest had his best match since he's been the heavyweight champion.
Agreed. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that, because everybody, for those that are listening and may have not gotten to check out what happened at SummerSlam last night, we're talking about the implosion of the Judgment Day, and how did it happen? What happened last night? Well, let's get into it. So we start off last night with Liv Morgan defending her Women's World Championship against Rhea Ripley, and good old Dirty Dom's out there taking care of his girl. But it turned out he wasn't taking care of the right girl, as he turns on Liv Morgan and ends up costing Liv the match, or costing Rhea the match. And Liv Morgan walks out arm in arm with Dirty Dom. What is it with that kid, by the way? I mean, seriously, man, he's got to write a book on how to pick up chicks, because that's impressive, going from Rhea to Liv. But Liv Morgan walks out with the championship. Rhea just is stunned. And I kind of felt like that was coming last night, but it's still kind of weird to see, Phil, what were your thoughts on the match? This match was really good. I enjoyed it, but obviously the finish is what's going to carry this through.
I half expected Dom not to come out at all and only do like backstage behind the curtain. Oh, I'm walking with Rhea, and then like Rhea comes out, does her entrance, and then now I'm walking with Liv. I was expecting it there. I'm not shocked by how it all went. I'm not gonna lie, when I look at the overall of SummerSlam, there was moments of timing that just weren't crisp.
Yeah.
And the whole Dom catching the chair from Rhea, as Rhea tried to hit Liv, and he's trying to catch it, and that got awkward. And he's trying to scream, no, you wouldn't win the championship if you hit her with the chair. I'm like, this feels weird, and it's not mic'd well, and it's not presenting what, like, something's up. Like, so it told the good story, and the end of it, I just felt uncomfortable getting there.
Well, and did you notice commentary didn't even acknowledge when Dom shoved the chair, slid the chair in the ring while he was arguing with the ref. And they in fact, so they had a shot. It was right after Liv gets the pinfall. They have this, they go to the shot of Dom smiling, but commentary didn't acknowledge it. And it was almost like they didn't even acknowledge Dom had lined up with Liv until the kiss. And it just felt like there was, you saw moment. It wasn't bad commentary. It's just moments where commentary totally missed on like a couple of key moments.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. When I was watching yesterday, I did note that the guys didn't really push that chair shove in there very well. So they ended up not really pushing it until they were all walking down the aisle, and Dom had his tongue down Liv's throat. So what threw me visually as I'm watching this, so here, so Dom sneaks in the chair, he gets up on the side of the ring, and as the referee is looking directly at Dom's face, he's pointing down at the chair. So my brain at first, I was like, is he trying to bring attention that the chair's in the ring? Is this going to be like a swerve? Is this going to be like an Eddie Guerrero? Oh, he hit them, but they're both going to bump like right before the ref turns around. Like, is that what they're building to? And that is not what happened. And I'm like, why is he pointing out that there's a chair in the ring? Yes, he's trying to get Liv's attention, but he's looking at the ref as he's doing it. And so it looked disconnected visually from Liv getting the signal of, oh, there's a chair in the ring.
Yeah. It was a little awkward.
Yeah.
But we get to where we wanted to go. So now we get to see where Rhea Ripley goes, probably on her own. And Liv and Dom, are you kidding me? Liv, call me. Come on. Call Phil Stamper. I don't know.
There's going to be some very disgusting makeout scenes.
Oh, God. Well, good for Dominic. Daddy's boy's all grown up.
Or maybe, just maybe, Liv on, like, tomorrow night, we go to Raw, and Liv, it looks like Dom and her are going to hook up again. And Liv's like, I already got what I needed from you, and walks away.
Oh,
and now Dom's left all by himself.
Send this clip to WWE right now. Right now. I like that. That would be good, Phil.
I like it.
Yeah. You can tell guys have gotten our hearts broken over the years.
But it has to be a storyline, right?
That's fantastic.
I love it, but the only problem is it would put sympathy on Dom, and we don't want that.
That's true, too.
We want to hate Dom. He's still got to be the most hated guy in WWE, and if Liv leaves him, that's going to.
I'm sorry. Is he the most hated guy in WWE now? I think he is. I'm trying to think of who anybody would hate worse than him right now. I mean, he gets so much heat, and now this.
Yeah, I mean, now there might be some audio sweetening, but he still gets like the most boos of anybody. I think it's just because it's fun to boo him.
Phil was trying to laugh up there. What
I was trying to hold back a laughter. I mean, I went Nia Jax. There's no love for Nia. Like,
really?
I really don't feel it. I mean, Logan Paul is probably up there too for contention of the biggest heel in the company right now.
Yeah.
Just from the quality person he is. I'm just seemingly. So I don't know. I'm riding with those two right now because Yeah.
All
Tom's a
three of
jerk.
all three of them are battling it out. Let's just say that.
Yeah, well, they're all doing a great job doing what they're supposed to be doing. So congratulations to them. But yeah, Wild opened to SummerSlam last night, and we're going to get into it more. We do have to get a break in here real quick. And when we come back, more with Phil Stamper and Stu Myrick, and of course myself, Mark Hoke. I am the host of the show. Having a great time here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas, the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. Don't forget streaming. Hop in that chat box. You can find us Facebook, YouTube, X, and get in. We've got some comments in the chat box already. People just fired up about last night, so we'll discuss it as we roll on here. We'll be right back.
They say to make yourself indispensable at work, so I developed a digital catering solution that only I can operate. Okay, it's actually EasyCater.com.
David!
They love me, because I, the director of catering logistics, not a real job, use EasyCater to get catering from all our favorite restaurants. Tight budget? No problem. Need vegetarian options? Gluten-free? Check and check.
D-Man, you crushed lunch today.
It was easy. EasyCater.
EasyCater is your all-in-one tech platform for ordering food for work. Start your order at easycater.com.
A violent crime is committed every 24 seconds. The U.S. Concealed Carry Association exists to provide you with firearms education, training, and access to self-defense liability insurance. So when trouble comes, you'll be ready. Over 800,000 Americans trust the USCCA, and right now, there's an exclusive, limited-time offer for radio listeners. Go to defendfamily.com to get a free family defense guide, a survival secrets training video from a retired FBI agent, and see all the benefits of membership. Go to defendfamily.com now.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Savings. Now that's speaking the Lowe's language. And when you join My Lowe's Rewards for free, the savings just keep coming. Save money with member-only offers, plus earn points when you shop. More points equal more rewards, just for you. Because Lowe's knows you earned it, literally. Learn more about our loyalty program at lowes.com/MyLowe'sRewards and become a member for free today. Program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. See lowes.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
Guess what, people? Wendy's has new saucy nugs. You heard me. Wendy's nugs now come in 7 saucy flavors. Buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, spicy ghost pepper. You can literally hear your taste buds after every bite. I'm serious. Listen to mine. Okay, that's just me playing with sound effects, but you got the idea. For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's.
You've got to watch your NFL team every Sunday, and Verizon's got you covered for all your team's out-of-market games every Sunday afternoon. Come on! From kickoff to sign-off, from first downs and touchdowns
Right.
to turnovers, no, and overturned plays.
After review, the pass was incomplete.
Nice.
Let's go! This season, win every Sunday with Verizon. Get a great deal on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV and a new phone. Excludes digital-only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
101.5 FM KDAWN. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And let's get back to it. The best in pro wrestling news and entertainment on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas, streaming on that Odyssey app. Download that app if you haven't. Unbelievable programming available to you. So get the app. And of course, we are streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X. So if you want to get involved and see these guys' beautiful faces and my ugly mug, feel free to do so. And of course, you can interact with the show as well. We're breaking down what happened at SummerSlam last night. 4 of the 6 titles changed hands yesterday. It was a busy day and another interesting night with titles changing hands. You know, TNA just turned over most of their gang, and now WWE turns 4 titles over as well. We get into the next match, guys. Braun Breaker taking on Sami Zayn. Of course, we got Phil Stamper and Stu Myrick on the show, by the way. Sorry, I probably should say that. That would help. We are doing radio.
Jeez,
But
Mark.
I know. Look, it was a Summer Slammy kind of night and morning, to be honest with you. Braun Breaker takes the Intercontinental Championship off of Sami Zayn. I don't think anybody was too surprised about this. The rematch gets booked, and whoop, there it is. And Braun looked really good. I mean, dominance. This kid, you can tell the Steiner family bloodline is running through that man's veins, and he looked incredible last night. Phil, your thoughts on the match with Braun Breaker and Sami Zayn?
If anything, I just thought it was short. I felt like, wow, this moved pretty quickly. You can tell it again. There was a moment in this match where it was like, there's something up with timing. Like there was just a moment that just didn't click well, and then they went back into it, and it started to flow. And it's like, well, the shorter matches are the matches that Braun needs right now to show his dominance and to show his force. So it was what he needed. What was, I guess, unsurprising is that commentary never talked about the fact that Sammy beat Gunther to get that championship. Like they never touched it. They never brought it up because maybe some shadows of what things could come later, or even just the fact that here's Gunther about to face off for the World Heavyweight Championship later that evening. Let's not bring it up that Sammy's the one who just beat him, now with Braun beating him.
Yeah, good point. Stu, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, it was short, but I think that was, by design, like you said, to let Braun Breaker, show what he could do. Don't have him go in a 15, 20 minute, marathon. Mm-hmm. We know Sammy can, but Braun's still relatively young in the business. So, short and sweet. And like you said, I think this was just about the most expected result for the night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and after coming off the last match that he and Sammy had, dragged out, it was a long match. I think people weren't really expecting that. This was probably a good way to go. Keep it short. Sammy had his moments in there. He didn't come off looking bad, but he and Braun just looked great. I mean, they did a terrific job establishing Braun as the monster. And I'll tell you what, there's some interesting matchups that could be taking place now with Braun Breakers, the Intercontinental Champion. This is going to be fun. It's going to be fun, and he's going to get to really be tested in the ring. He's going to learn a lot along the way, but for now, he's got an Intercontinental title, so good for Braun. Nice job. He's a. I don't want to get hit by him.
No.
I'd like to see Phil Stamper get a spear from him. No,
watch it. Why are you being feel like that?
You're in a mood, Mark. Jeez.
I'm just messing around. Come on. The president of wrestling, he shouldn't be taking spears from Braun Breaker. Or should he?
Nobody should be taking spears from Braun Breaker.
We're having fun. Of course. Phil, by the way, how's things going in Revolver, by the way? You guys having a good time?
We are. We took a little vacation. We took July off. But we're returning on the 24th to two events in Dayton, Ohio, then in September 21st in Iowa, and then we're in Texas on October, I think it's the 12th.
Yeah, y'all are heading to, is it Garland?
Grand Prairie. So we'll be
Grand
at the
Prairie,
Epic
that's
in Grand
right.
Prairie.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
Yeah, Stu's down in Austin, Texas. So there you go, Stu. You can go say hi to Phil.
Right.
I might, yeah. Hey, Grand Prairie, 3-hour drive. That's not bad.
Right, that's easy. That's compared to what I'm gonna have to do. That's gonna be easy drive.
I love Sam Callahan to death. So hey, always happy to support Wrestling Revolver.
Well, thank you.
He worked a little bit with Wrestle Circus when Wrestle Circus was hot here in Austin. So
I miss some of those guys. I used to know Lennox really well, and I haven't talked to him in a minute.
Yeah, I see. Jort, actually, he and his wife live like maybe 5 minutes from me.
Oh wow!
Here in Northwest Austin. I'll see him every now and again. He was starting to get active again on the independent scene, and now I haven't seen him around in a bit.
Yeah, I don't. He told me once he was coming back, and then now I don't know what happened, if he got injured again or.
Yeah, he went. In fact, he trained with Dustin Rhodes at the Rhodes Wrestling Academy. I'm the lead commentator for his student showcases, and the academy is just up the road in Leander, which is a suburb of Austin. and Jordan was there for a training camp. I think it was last year. Under his character Flying Tiger.
Okay.
And we even booked him. So I do commentary for Inspire After Death here in Austin, and we booked him for a few matches in that, and now we haven't seen him in a while. So,
well, Phil, now you know you got someplace to stay on the drive.
Yeah, that's true. That is
there.
True.
You go. I'll hook you guys up. Well, one guy that didn't need hooked up last night was LA Knight. We had talked about it on the show that this was a critical match for him. God forbid they booked him to lose this. It would have been a disaster. They did not. LA Knight walks out with the United States Championship from Logan Paul. And the one question that I have for you guys about Logan is it time to get rid of this stupid Nux gimmick? I'm tired of it. I mean, look, he hasn't wrestled that much. And look, he's a spectacular athlete. He really is. He's good in the ring. And I know you're trying to get heat and everything, but isn't it time for those knuckles to just disappear? Of course, it semi backfired last night, but I'm done with it. I'm done with that.
I mean, is it about the knuckles or is it about his crew that he has at ringside trying to always help him?
That too.
I think it's time for it's probably a little more about his crew. And look, I'm 50. I'll be 56 next month or this month, excuse me. YouTube sensations mean nothing to me. And Logan Paul, look, he does a great job in the ring. I get it, but he's one of those guys, especially now that he didn't have a title. It's kind of like, I'm not really pining to see him in the ring. Nux or no.
So now we're just saying no more Logan Paul. Wow. All right. Phil, what do you think of that?
Well, it's fun. So, Logan Paul's been competing in the WWE for 3 years. And one part of the graphic as he's coming out is going, hometown Ohio, first time ever competing in Ohio. And I'm like, wait a minute. In 3 years you've been with the WWE, you haven't appeared once in Ohio. So, that just speaks to, how many times is he working or not working? I'm not going to lie. When he is in the ring, he does some phenomenal stuff. He hits things better than a lot of people do. And so he has put in the work. At the same time, I'm not a fan of the person. And that certainly flavors my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but then we shifted to LA Knight, who is now the United States champion. And this, I have a feeling, is going to be a very interesting reign for him because, the roads seem to lead to him at some point winning a world title. I think this is a good spot for him at this point to kind of rebuild himself a little, because I thought WWE pushed it too fast. And when he lost to Roman Reigns last year, I think it really stung him. And now here's his opportunity to make a bigger name, start beating some people, because, it was up and down booking, if you remember right. I mean, he was losing matches all over the place. So now we get LA Knight as the United States champion. Stu, are you optimistic about this title reign?
I am. Now, look, I'm a fan of LA Knight. I've been a fan of his, since his TNA days as Eli Drake. I love, he's fantastic on the mic. He's good in the ring. I am looking forward to seeing what matchups he has as the U.S. champion. And I hope that WWE books him in a strong way to where, maybe he does start to sniff around the world title picture, and maybe even get a shot or two. We'll see. I am hopeful that we see a lot from LA Knight as the U.S. champion.
As are many people here in Vegas. This is one of the places he trained. Phil, are you excited about LA Knight as the U.S. champ?
I am, and like we've all been sort of alluding to, it was time. Like, they needed to pull a trigger on something with him. I was almost afraid they weren't, and because he wasn't the guy, he wasn't going to be their guy, and has come out swinging, and the fans are saying, WWE, we like him. Like, don't mess up with him, because we actually are behind him. Don't screw up. And so you're right, what you said before. He needed this. He needed this win, but I'm curious where they'll go next.
Yeah, who knows who they're going to line up with him too. Boy, we got our secondary champions. Man, there are some serious possibilities here between Braun and LA Knight. It's going to be fun. Congratulations, WWE. You got two winners coming up there. Another winner last night is Nia Jax, who knocks off Bayley, and in a fairly decisive manner last night, I might say. Nia Jax is the new WWE Women's Champion, as she got a little distraction help from Tiffany Stratton yesterday. And Nia walks out as the women's champ, taking Bayley out of there. And, Bayley had some cool moments in there when she got Nia up on her shoulders. That was pretty impressive. Nia Jax, new women's champion, Phil. I know you are kind of on her, but what do you think of this? This is going to be some fun.
So again, if I had to put on my criticism hat a little bit, like I said, there was some weird timing stuff I thought on the event. Every other match had some kind of outside interference that got involved for the finish. It was like half of the there was like 3 or 4 matches that leaned heavily on, oh no, they're doing some damage to the shoulder of the person. So there was a little bit of like repetition in the course of the evening too, and I was just like, well, again, and again, I'm just not a fan of Nia Jax in the ring. That's just a personal opinion. I thought Bayley did the best with her, and again, I haven't thought Bayley has had that great of a run with this championship. And I thought this was a decent showing of Bayley's.
I would agree with that. She looked very good last night. I mean, that's whenever you're working in ring with somebody that there's such a size differential, especially with the women. I mean, that is hard to do, and she was fantastic last night, Stu.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Now it's going to be interesting. So now you got Nia Jax, Queen of the Ring, women's champion. Tiffany Stratton, Miss Money in the Bank, and her little princess. Of course, now the clock is now ticking on when that blows up. Does Tiffany cash in on Nia, and how does that look? Because Nia's kind of characterizing Tiffany Stratton as her little doll, her little Barbie doll,
her princess.
She even said, "It's my little Barbie doll," and the princess. And so, now it's like looking forward to when that happens. The problem with that is, there are a lot of people that feel the way Phil does about Nia Jax. So you would think, in a regular feud or a regular storyline, you would think when that happens, Tiffany's going to be the heel, and then Nia Jax gets sympathy as a babyface. But with as mixed of a reaction, shall we say, as Nia Jax gets, how much sympathy is she really going to garner?
Yeah, I could see that would be a problem. But I will say this for Nia Jax, that she has been so much better in this second time around with WWE. That firing was a huge wake-up call for her. Had the reputation, of course, of hurting people in the ring, and nobody wanted to get in there with her, and they just finally gave up on her. But this time around, when she's come back, she has been much crisper. She has been working with the top talent and doing a great job. I remember when she wrestled Rhea Ripley down in Australia, I thought she did a terrific job down there. I really did. And, she's starting to come into her own a little bit more. And I don't know if it was just a lack of confidence on her part or what, but there was just something missing that it feels like she's got a little more of an aura now than she did back then. So just throwing it out there. I'll defend her a little bit.
And I will say, for the Queen of the Ring, that crown is awesome. Like that crown is literally on point.
That wasn't the same crown that she got in Saudi, though, right? It was a different crown, because the one in Saudi was like all bedazzled and, whatever. This one is a little more, I don't know, hardcore, shall we say?
Sharp. It's very, looks very sharp.
Yeah,
well,
it could be used as a weapon.
Right.
Well, she came to Vegas and pawned it off and got a different one.
There you go.
It's sit down at Rick's Rick's store down there in on Vegas Boulevard. I might go buy it. No, actually, you know what? I'll let Stu buy it. That's more in Stu's budget.
I'll be
back in your.
I'll be there in 3 weeks or 2
there you
weeks.
go.
Excuse me. For
That's right.
I'll be there. Colorado Alley Club. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll go shopping. We'll see if we can find Nia's crown. One more match that I want to get into. Well, actually, no, let's take a break before we get into this Drew McIntyre CM Punk.
Experience.
We'll call it experience. I think that's a good word. Let's come back more with Phil Stamper from Pro Wrestling Revolver and Stu Myrick from Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. I'm Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us. We're going through SummerSlam and all sorts of incredible news going around the wrestling world, including a meeting between Tony Khan and Shane McMahon. Can you believe that? Stick around, everybody. We've got a whole lot more on the Mark Hoke Show. We'll be right back.
Hi, it's David Masters. Join me and my brother Alan for Advice Line, 10 to midnight, Monday through Friday, right here on 101.5 FM. That's Advice Line, America's radio counseling program. If you've got problems, we've got your answers. Monday through Friday, 10 to midnight.
At Affordable Dentures and Implants, our Snap Secure Dental Implants will let you eat and speak with confidence at a price that's affordable. So if you think you can't afford dental implants, think again. Our practices in Las Vegas and Henderson are open to serve you. Schedule a free new smile consultation by calling 1-800-DENTURE or visit affordabledentures.com to find the practice near you. That's 1-800-DENTURE or visit affordabledentures.com. Schedule your new smile consultation today. Affordable Dentures and Implants.
Go ahead and smile. All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2, have a plan to get there. Step 3, make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all three with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
Guess what, people? Wendy's has new saucy nugs. You heard me. Wendy's nugs now come in 7 saucy flavors. Buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, spicy ghost pepper. You can literally hear your taste buds after every bite. I'm serious. Listen to mine. Okay, that's just me playing with sound effects, but you got the idea. For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's.
This is it. Shop the Lowe's closeout event to get up to 70% off select major appliances for your home. Plus, get up to 60% off select patio furniture and accessories for your outdoor spaces. So hurry into your local store today because these deals are too good to last. Shop them now before they're gone because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 8/7 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Dreaming of a relaxing retirement but need the roadmap to get there? The Asset Preservation Hour with Stuart Willis can help you build the path. Saturdays at 9 and Sundays at 10 a.m. here on 101.5. Start planning today. Visit apsitaxes.com.
101.5 FM KDAWN. You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
And we return to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas. Our 3rd anniversary. How about that? They haven't thrown me off the air yet. It's amazing.
Happy birthday.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. So thank you for joining us. Of course, got 2 of my great friends in pro wrestling on the show with me today. Phil Stamper from Pro Wrestling Revolver. Of course, he's the president of wrestling and does an incredible documenting of independent wrestling around the country. Follow him at Trust and Phil. Check that out. Stu Myrick from Sports Guys Talking Wrestling down in Austin, Texas. Unbelievable podcast. You need to listen to that too. Just listen to me and then listen to Stu and then go find something to do on the independent circuit, wherever you want with Phil. It's a one-stop shop. We got it rolling. Yeah. And by the way, just real fast, I got to get this in. We just started working a company called the Travel Shark. And if you are looking for hotel room bookings, you know how everybody gets those super deals all the time when, the rooms that are left over on Priceline? Well, the travelshark.com actually gives you those prices all the time. So for those of you out there that are going around, you want to catch wrestling rivers, great deals in Las Vegas for WrestleMania, check it out. Go to the travelshark.com/Hoke show. You got to get that /Hoke show in there. So I get my bonus points. Like they give me cookies and brownies, but it's the travelshark.com/Hoke show, and check it out. You will be very, very glad you did if you're looking for any hotel travel. All right. I don't know. I think CM Punk might be looking for a new hotel room after that match last night. I was so excited about that. You guys know I was excited about this match. And wow, I'm just lost on this because generally it was a good match. But this friendship bracelet thing that came into play where, Drew had it and Punk tried to get it and Seth put it on and Seth gets beat up. And then the match hinged around a friendship bracelet. With these guys, the three talents you had in there, did you have to hinge a match that was that hot around a friendship bracelet, Stu?
No. That was the dumbest thing all night. And you're right. Look, I think everybody was excited to see CM Punk get back in the ring. This is the first one-on-one match he had actually since he wrestled it All In last year in London, outside of a couple of house show matches with Dominic Mysterio. So everybody was excited to see CM Punk back in the ring. It's Drew McIntyre. They've had this rivalry. It's been fantastic. And you had a feeling Drew was going to get, finally get his revenge. And you're right. The match was okay. It wasn't great. The match was missing something. And I don't know if it was a matter of CM Punk just being rusty or if it was, I don't know what. The whole friendship bracelet thing, that was absolutely unneeded. You didn't need something like that for this match. And I don't know why they went down this road. I don't know if they thought it needed more heat because look, it's again, what they've been doing back and forth since WrestleMania, that's enough to garner interest in this match. Why are you worried about a stupid friendship bracelet? And the whole thing, and Punk gets distracted by Seth wearing the bracelet when Seth was just trying to hold it for him. It just, I don't know, it felt overbooked. It felt like, and I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it. It felt a little like CM Punk may have seen his best days. May have already seen his best days.
Wow. All right. Phil, your thoughts on the CM Punk match?
I mean, maybe my bias because I am the best Phil in wrestling. So
that's awesome.
I didn't go that far down that path about the friendship bracelet. I was like, it's the MacGuffin, it's the thing. And from that one perspective of when you look at SummerSlam as a business product, there are people who really only watch not just the pay-per-views or premium live events, but really just the big four events. So there's, SummerSlam will go up in how many people viewed, and it has been the most viewed, or will be, I'm sure, once we see the numbers, the most viewed WWE event since WrestleMania. And so it's like, oh, that's a quick and easy way to tell the story during the match for commentary. Like, oh, look, here's this really quick story connection about the bracelet that Drew stole, and now Seth has it, and Punk misunderstands. I was like, all right, this is part of the story. I don't think it necessarily was needed, but at the same time, I felt there was so much. I mean, you definitely got the point of why Seth Rollins is there. He has storyline points with both of them, but now it feels like on Monday night, are we going to finally get a 3-way match between the 3 of them to tease either end this so they can go on and do whatever all 3 are going to do next? Because this all of this felt, if you look back at WrestleMania, here are 3 guys who are all in the title picture. Seth at the time was world heavyweight champion, and Drew was circling there, gets cost the title by Punk by the end of WrestleMania. So it's sort of like, or no, wait a minute, that was Money in the Bank. I'm pulling pay-per-views together in my brain. So it's sort of like this was just the stall point until they got to this point for then all 3 of them to go on to other storylines that would involve a championship. But now it's like, well, are you going to do that? You just switched the World Heavyweight Championship. Are you? So here's Cody again. Cody could be at a point where he's going to go in another direction, but now, well, we haven't gotten there yet, but there was another surprise at the end of the night that maybe that'll tease a direction too. So it's sort of like, well, are you back in the same mess you were 3 months ago, where now you don't know where to go with these 3? And are they just going to be locked in it together until next WrestleMania?
That was part of the reason that I wish they'd have waited to put Gunther in the World Championship picture. I think this would have been very entertaining to have the World Championship passing between these 3 guys. I'm usually not big on hot potatoing, but with this could have been really fun. And then if Drew would have held on to the case, man, you could have had some real fun with this. And now it's still okay, but man, CM Punk getting distracted by a bracelet just threw me off, because that is not something that you would think a guy, the way the character's been portrayed over the years, would get put in the tank by, No, he's always been focused on winning, and now he's worried about a friendship bracelet. That doesn't make any sense. So yeah, and Stu, I understood what you said about Punk looking a little off. I will say he looked like he was in some of the best shape he's looked in a long time.
He looked in great
physically
shape.
Looked great. But yeah, I see what you're saying. It was just, and maybe he was holding back a little bit because he just, was worried about getting hurt. Like I remember when he jumped off the top rope to do a clothesline, it wasn't quite as explosive as it normally is. And maybe there was just a little bit of being tentative after everything that's happened with his body, that he just wanted to make sure he got through this thing without any other major fiascos going on.
And I hope that's the case. I hope he was just holding back, because I like watching Punk. I mean, I'm not like I'm not like pining for it, but he's fun watching the ring. So I'm hoping that's what it was, that he was holding back. It was like missing a step. It was just, I was not impressed with that match.
Yeah. So it was quite the entertaining fiasco. I don't know. I mean, it was still good, but Seth Rollins was awesome, by the way. I do want to throw that out too. Seth was great. I mean, playing the referee that just would stand around and let stuff happen, sitting up in the corner, and, Drew's getting his head bounced off the steps and he's just kind of standing there and doing his laugh and everything else. What a job he did last night, I thought. I mean, that was just something that I noticed, that Seth stood out in that role very well.
He was very good in his role. You're right. And that, the fact that he's going to be fed into this, vortex with Punk and Drew, it will be, I guess it'll be intriguing to see where, how it all falls out. I got a feeling this is going to be the program for probably the rest of 2024, is the 3 of them, in whatever combination you want to put.
I'm fine with that. I want Seth to come out on top, but I think the roundabout way to getting Seth Rollins back to the World Championship against Gunther, I'm good. I want that match at WrestleMania. I think that would be fantastic. Well, and of course, WrestleMania will be here in Las Vegas, where we are right now doing the Mark Hoke Show, and we are going to be back with a whole lot more, wrapping up our coverage of SummerSlam from last night, and then we get to dive into AEW. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Shane McMahon meets with Tony Khan. MJF punches a wall. Britt Baker gets suspended. What is going on? Man, everybody's getting loopy in pro wrestling lately. But hey, that's part of the fun of talking about it. We'll be right back on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. And if you want to interact with the show, we'll hit some of those comments in the chat box. Join us there on YouTube, X, or Facebook. And we'll be back more with Phil Stamper, Stu Myrick, and I'm Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us. We'll be right back for hour 2 coming up.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
Hey, fantasy football owners, the road to winning your fantasy football championship starts now. I'm Matt Harmon from Reception Perception. Join me and James Coe as we take a deep dive into the position that's going to make or break your fantasy roster. Wide receivers. We analyze route running, target share, and all the metrics that matter, giving you the insights you need to draft the best wide receivers. As you prep for your draft, let us give you the coverage you need. Follow and listen to Reception Perception on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
When it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2, have a plan to get there. Step 3, make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all 3 with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
Hey there, I'm Healthy Hank, your health hero, here to give you little habits for healthy travels. Picture this: you're about to board a plane and you find yourself in a sneezing or coughing fit. This is a potential germ explosion. Utilize tissues as your trusty sidekick against sneezes and coughs, and then disinfect any surfaces you may have touched. And remember, if you're feeling under the weather, be a superhero and stay home. Together, we can ensure a safe and healthy journey for everyone. This message is sponsored by a CDC grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Understanding the many things in a mother's life affecting her pregnancy is important. You can help improve the health of all mothers and babies in Nevada by completing a Pregnancy Risk Assessment Monitoring System survey about your recent pregnancy. Also known as PRAMS, the survey is from the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The survey asks new moms about their experience before, during, and after pregnancy. Responses are confidential and used to help improve the health of mothers and babies in Nevada. If you receive a PRAMS survey, please share your story. Learn more at nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. That's nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. This message sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
KMXB HD3 Henderson, K268CS Las Vegas. Always live on the free Odyssey app. 101.5 FM KDAWN.
Storm strengthening. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. Tropical storm Debbie forecast to gain hurricane strength as she turns through the Gulf of Mexico, headed to a landfall tomorrow in Florida's Big Bend region. State of emergency is in effect for most of the state. Governor Ron DeSantis.
I'd urge all Floridians to be cognizant of the fact that we are going to have a hurricane hit the state, probably a Category 1, but it could be a little bit more powerful than that. But we are absolutely going to see a lot of rainfall.
The National Hurricane Center warns that a storm surge of up to 6 to 10 feet is possible. They also say Debbie will bring potentially historic rainfall across southeast Georgia and parts of South Carolina, which could also spread widespread flash flooding. Israel bracing for Iran's retaliation for the death of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh, killed while visiting Tehran. U.S. officials fear the strike is imminent. Fox's Trey Yingst reports from Haifa, Israel. It could come as early as tonight.
Tension is rising across the Middle East as Israel braces for an attack from Iran. We know the U.S. Navy has already deployed 12 warships and the USS Theodore Roosevelt to the region. The Americans, along with other countries, are expected to help Israel shoot down incoming drones and missiles. New reports believe Iran will attack as soon as tonight and into tomorrow. The attack may also include incoming missile and rocket fire from Hezbollah in Lebanon. Here in the city of Haifa, civilians are bracing for the possibility of more direct attacks against strategic targets. Further north overnight, Hezbollah fired 30 rockets into communities along the Israel-Lebanon border. Most of the fire was intercepted by Israel's missile defense system, the Iron Dome, but the move drew a new Israeli response with fresh airstrikes inside Lebanon.
2 people were killed in a stabbing spree today near Tel Aviv. The suspect was then killed by police. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm Dana Perino, co-host of The Five and co-anchor of America's Newsroom. Join me for my brand new podcast, Perino on Politics. Listeners of Everything Will Be Okay will gravitate toward this podcast too. Every Monday, I'm going to talk to people I trust in politics as they tell me what they're seeing and thinking in the 2024 election cycle. As they prep me to cover the upcoming election, they'll prep you, the voters, too. Make sure you subscribe to this series on foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you download podcasts and leave a rating and review.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
Hey there, it's me, Kennedy. Make sure to check out my podcast, Kennedy Saves the World. It is 5 days a week. Every week, we check in with Jimmy Fallon, bring in authors for the book club, and even treat some of your favorite Fox personalities to a very special happy hour. Download and listen at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.
Kennedy Saves the World. America's listening to Fox News.
With the best in sports talk on both the local and national scenes, join Ken Thompson for SportsX Radio Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 p.m. right here on 101.5 FM KDAWN and streaming live on the Odyssey app. AUDACY. Download our free app now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
And welcome to hour number 2 of the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM. Talk of Las Vegas. We are also streaming worldwide on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. Download that right now if you haven't. Always handy to have that thing in your back pocket so you can listen to all of our great programming on KDAWN and a ton of other stuff too. So make sure you check that out, AUDACY. And we are streaming on Facebook, X, and YouTube. So get your subscription to YouTube right now. Click on that button. It's not hard. Just go to the Mark Hoke Show and ding. And you know what? You're going to be a happier person for it. I promise. You will.
But you have to make that sound though when you click subscribe.
Yeah. Yeah. Do the ding. You know, record yourself doing the ding. You can send it to me on the old X. That'll be fun. Phil Stamper from Pro Wrestling Revolver, the president of wrestling. Hail to the chief. By the way, I saw a photo of you choking somebody out, by the way. That was pretty cool.
It wasn't a photo, it was a video, and I deny such allegations.
Whatever. Don't lie. Phil Stamper, shame on you. At Trust and Phil. And Stu Myrick from Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. At Stu Myrick. That's STEWMYRICK. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you. Hey, quick side note.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Steve Mongo McMichael. Going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Of course, Chicago Bears legend, former member of the Four Horsemen, and proud lifetime Longhorn. from the University of Texas.
Jeez, Zoo. Between you and Ohio State with the stuff, you get that out of here. Come on.
We are the flagship. We are the flagship university for the Lone Star State. So
Well, I'm not going to dispute that, but come on. The president, the sports guy, whatever. Come on, get it. No. But yeah, congratulations to Mongo, and very happy that he was able to get through his health issues and is going to be actually around, because I'll tell you what, they almost left him out before maybe time came up. So we're very happy that Mongo gets to go in as a living member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Very cool. And don't forget, by the way, it is our 3rd anniversary of the show. So thank you for all the support over the years so far. We're looking forward to a lot more till I keel over, or they fire me, one of the two. It could go either way.
Don't put that into the air.
No.
WrestleMania is coming to Vegas. You can't do that.
Well, I know all you guys want to come visit. I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for the first person. Hey, Mark, you got an extra bed? I'm waiting for it. It's coming. Somebody's going to do it. And that's okay. I don't mind. But yeah, very exciting time. But I was talking to the sports, Las Vegas Sports and Convention Authority here, and hopefully we're going to be having
the Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're trying to get something set up for Lisa Nutley to come on the show. So that'll be a lot of fun to get to talk to her. But we're trying to just finalize the time on that. Oh, and by the way, next week on the show, Chris Statlander is going to be joining us.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah. So we get to hear from Chris Statlander, who's going to be probably winning a world championship for Mexico in Wembley. Amazing how that works out. But hey, there we go. It's a smaller world now in pro wrestling. Nobody knows got a joke off that. All right, that's fine. Yeah. No problem. I was hoping somebody was going to jump in on that, but you guys let me down. It's all right. No problem. See, there you go again.
We're tired.
I know you guys. Phil's on the East Coast, and had to stay up late and watch SummerSlam. And I'm sure Stu, you're Central Time, so it wasn't much better for you either.
Well, plus we're dealing with summer. It's 100 plus degrees, like it is in Las Vegas. 100 plus here in the beautiful ATX.
Yeah, I'm just glad it's not 120. 110 I can sort of deal with, but that 120 day was horrendous. Well, one guy that got to have a hot night last night in Cleveland is Gunther, as he walks out of Cleveland Browns Stadium with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, knocking off Damian Priest. Honestly, guys, I thought this was the match of the night. I really enjoyed it. Both these guys went at each other, and Damian Priest leveled up to me yesterday. I really think that he did. He just about out-physicaled Gunther last night, and you don't see that in a match very often.
Yeah.
But a fantastic effort, of course, spoiled by that rat Finn Balor, who put Gunther's leg on the rope to save the championship attempt for him, and then helped Gunther win the title. And so we have two things to deal with on this. Number one, we've got a new world champion, and number two, part of the implosion of the Judgment Day that took place last night at SummerSlam. But Phil, let's get to Gunther first. Not a surprise that he is the new world champion. Some people weren't sure about it, but this is going to be a very entertaining world championship reign, I think, given the near invulnerability that he's been booked with.
Which surprised me to the point of how much he was beaten down last night by Damian Priest. And I said this earlier, this was to me Damian Priest's best showing since he's been the heavyweight champion. So I hope, Damian Priest, I'm sure he'll go off and fight Finn Balor next in whatever he's going to be doing, but I hope he works his way back. I hope this isn't the last time we've seen Damian Priest on top. I think it was a bit of a shock for some people that he got there. But I hope we don't forget him, because that we've seen that sometimes in the past. I was almost surprised Gunther wasn't stronger in this match. I like the involvement of Finn. The actual finish, I didn't know if I liked the let's go for a sleeper hold. I'm angry at Finn. Let's go for a sleeper hold. And that's the match. I felt like it kind of like it was an anticlimax for me. And I don't know why, because, you normally, here's Gunter. He's just going to beat the ever living crap out of somebody. And I don't feel like we got that same level of Gunter regression because I think Damian gave it to him. And I feel it took a little bit of steam away. I mean, very happy that it was going to be Gunter. I don't think it was a big shock that Gunter got the championship. And I'm interested in, and again, it's always the story of what I like about wrestling is I get to see what happens next. That's the exciting part. But let's not forget about Damian Priest and what he's going to be doing.
No, I would totally agree with you. Stu, I'm sure you're on that bandwagon too. I don't know if I've talked to you about him enough.
Oh, absolutely. I've been a big fan of his, going back to his Punishment Martinez days in Ring of Honor, and I thought Damian Priest really did a fantastic job last night. I agree with Phil. The whole, from draping the leg over the rope, that little segment until the pinfall felt a little cluttered, felt a little clunky. But yeah, Gunther is world heavyweight champion. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Let's see who steps up to him. At the same time, again, this implosion of the Judgment Day. And let's see what Damian does.
There's no other Judgment Days.
It's gonna be, obviously the first program out of the gate is gonna be Finn and Damian. I think that's pretty logical. But let's see what happens, with whatever's left of the Judgment Day. Are we gonna still call it the Judgment Day? Whatever. But yeah, and I'm with you, Mark. I really hope that Damian Priest stays very relevant. I hope they keep him around the main event picture, because he is just such a talented dude. And yeah, I want to see more from Damian Priest.
Yeah, because now if you think about it, guys, we've got 5 people sitting there that are legitimate contenders to that World Heavyweight Championship. Balor, Priest, Punk, McIntyre, Rollins. That's a pretty good 6 guys to have at the top of your card. And there's some other guys too, just to run down through it. I'm looking at a list here. Chad Gable's still hanging around out there. And you have the Wyatt 6. Who knows what's going to happen with those guys? Could Gunther have to deal with one of them? Dragunov is still out there. And I'm sure everybody wants to see that match happen again. So there's and Jey Uso, the Usos. I mean, is Jay going to get back in this thing? So there are a lot of people out there that could be chasing this championship. Gunther's going to get a big line.
I'll be honest, and it may just be kind of the post syndrome from having Bray Wyatt as champion. I would keep the Wyatt 6 out of the world title picture, because they don't necessarily need championships to tell their story. Yeah. I want to see them wrestle, which we're going to get it tomorrow night with the Wyatt 6 taking on Chad Gable and the Creeds. I want to see them wrestling, and that was my big thing when they introduced this group was that all the spooky wooky stuff is fine, but let's see them wrestle. So at least we're getting there. I'd say keep them away from the world title picture for now.
There you go. Phil, you're nodding your head on that.
I agree with that. I was almost surprised that we didn't get to see a little bit of the Wyatt 6 last night, just as even like a little teaser of things to come. But I would agree. I think there's so much business happening right now near the world title picture, and even over with the Undisputed Championship. I don't think they need it, at least not right this second. I think there's an ebb and flow of when you can get there, and you're right. You just don't need it this second.
I would definitely agree with you on that. Now, we get to the main event last night, and coming into this Friday night, if you missed it, we got new World Tag Team Champions. So the Bloodline taking those belts home on Friday, knocking off DIY. So a quick reign for DIY, but the World Tag Team titles fall in the hands of the Bloodline, and we get Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa last night. And I liked the match. I didn't love it just because this is same formula. It had a reminiscent of a mini WrestleMania main event that Cody and Roman had until the end, of course, where the big man came out. But the all the interference. I mean, it was a bloodline match, of course, a bloodline rules match, so it was legal. But it just seemed very repetitive to me in terms of, I just saw that match at WrestleMania. But then Roman Reigns makes his return and just plows Solo Sikoa into the ground, and Cody ends up winning the match. So a big return for Roman, as he is now back in this and looks like he's going to be a baby face. But thoughts on the match and then Roman's return, Stu? I'll give you the first shot.
The match was fine. Like you said, it felt a little bit of a carbon copy from what we saw at Mania with Cody and Roman. I think the crowd, because it was Bloodline Rules match, the crowd was waiting for the interference.
Yeah.
And so that didn't help it much. We did finally see Tama Tonga Tongaloa come in, and then, everything with Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. Here comes Jacob Fatu. And oh, by the way, praying for, Jacob Fatu. Hopefully, whatever injury it was, hopefully it's not serious. There is a report from Wrestling Observer that showed somebody took a picture of him in a walking boot. Hopefully that is precautionary. Let's hope he's not out for very long. But yeah, and then the return of Roman Reigns, which, I think that was expected. And so now you got Roman coming back, the T-shirt OTC. So, let the bloodline civil war begin. But yeah, it was fine. It did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, Phil. So now, where does Cody go from here? Are we done with Cody and the bloodline for now, or is we gonna get a Roman Cody team up and be a part of a chasing off this new bloodline group? I'm torn, because to be honest with you, I kind of want to see Cody take on some other guys. I'm a little bit done with this.
I agree with you. I think I was sitting there going, either they can do it really quick. Roman comes out tomorrow night on Raw and just is like, I've always been the tribal chief, and everybody just comes back and like, all right, yes, you're the chief. And like then everything just reverts back to Roman. But I feel like there's also a couple of stories involved here, because aren't we waiting until WrestleMania to find out if it's going to be Roman versus Rock finally, or is it going to be Cody versus Rock finally, until we see The Rock another year after that? So it's sort of, are we building to those points, or are we building to something different? You're right, because Roman came back. I mean, people were anticipating it. There were a lot of signs, hinting towards literal signs in the arena, hinting towards we want Roman, manifesting Roman, those kinds of things. And he shows up, and huge pop reaction. Liked it. I thought, he was going to attack Solo and then attack Cody, and he left Cody alone and walked away. And so is it because he's saving Cody for himself? Is it he's seen the error of his ways and needs to restore the family honor? Like, where are they going to go with this? So right now he'll be on the side. And I agree with you. This gives Cody the opportunity to wrestle some other people, gets away from the bloodline until they come back later. Like, I feel like it'll swerve back in that direction, but for the interim, go in another direction.
Yeah. And that's the issue with The Rock hanging around. Of course, they had that big promo after WrestleMania that their paths were going to cross again. And, our story's just getting started. So Dwayne is still looming very large over this. But I have a feeling he's going to be in charge of this second bloodline. And I would go Rock Roman if it were me. That's the direction I would take this. But, who knows? But it was interesting. Roman, one thing about Roman, when I watched him walk out and just be in the arena, what poise that guy's got. You just look at him and you just feel like this is one of the best people in the world doing this right now. You don't feel like there's a flaw there. The look, the way he carries himself, man, he just looked incredible last night. I don't know if it was just me, but No, he just struck me as this is a champion right here. And he
Well,
could be
you
a champion in anything.
You think 10 years ago when he was part of the Shield with John Moxley and Seth Rollins, and Roman's the one that comes out as the big superstar. I think it's good on Roman making the best of what he's had. I do think we will eventually see Roman putting his bloodline back together. Jimmy's got to come back. Of course, Paul Heyman. We might see Jay get lured back. We'll see. Think about Survivor Series, which just got announced for Vancouver. Could we see a Bloodline versus Bloodline War Games? And if that's the case, where's Hikuleo? Allegedly he's finished up with New Japan. He's signed with WWE. We're just waiting to debut him. Could he be part of that? Could he come out on Roman's side? That could be a nice twist. Let's see where that goes. We got a few months, and let's see Cody face some other folks. You got, I hate to say it, but Logan Paul would be a contender, I could say. Let's hope that's not the longest match on earth. But I could see Logan Paul becoming a contender somehow. But I want to see Cody face some other folks.
Yeah, I'm just bracing myself for Cody and Randy Orton. Let's just let them tear each other apart for 6 months, and I'll be okay with it.
There you go.
That'd be all right. Yeah. So that's what happened at SummerSlam last night. Before we go to break, let's ask you guys just overall impressions of the night. If you're grading this, where do you think it is? Did you enjoy it? I know, Phil, you thought there was just a lot of wonky things in the matches, but overall, where'd you come out on this?
So, I mean, even though I saw it, and I guess in my brain, I have a weird critique mind. So I give it a B, because I think overall it hit the right buttons. It presented a lot of good things. It did a lot of change. But there was still some weird timing issues that seemed to permeate through. As I went back through, every match but one had outside interference. There were some repeated kinds of similar, we're all going after a shoulder in 3 out of the first 4 matches. So there's things I'm like, I would have done this maybe a little. Maybe I'm going to modify. I'm going to say a B-.
Stu, your overall thoughts on SummerSlam?
I'll go B as well. The one note that nobody ever put forth was LA Knight when he hits blunt force trauma, rolls Logan Paul over, pins him. Logan Paul's foot was outside the rope.
Oh, that's right.
But and in fact, when they replayed the pinfall, they cut off the they hit 1, they hit 2, and then it cuts. So you don't see it necessarily. I thought when I first saw it initially, I thought, Logan's foot was on the rope, but no, it was under the rope. So could they make that a story? We'll see. It could have been simply, something as simple as they just, it was there, but we're not supposed to notice it.
Yeah. So it was probably, I think it was more a mistake on Logan's part than anything else.
Yeah.
Those rooks. What are you going to do? But yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, I put it in the B-ish category. A lot of fun. But there were some glitches in the matches. I totally agree with Phil that I thought there were some spots that just seemed very, very awkward. But overall, I thought it was a lot of fun. And this is going to be a neat reset now for WWE with a bunch of new champions on the board. Man, where this goes, nobody knows. This is going to be fun. But I know where we've got to go. We've got to go to a commercial break because we don't. I'm going to get in trouble. So stick around, everybody. We've got a whole lot more on the Mark Hoke Show. The meeting of the minds. Tony Khan, Shane McMahon, in an airport in Arlington. And we're going to talk about what is this all about. Holy cow. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN. Phil Stamper, Stu Myrick. We'll be right back.
Listen to the Texas Corners Bible Church every Saturday night at 7 p.m. and Sunday night at 10 p.m. on 101.5 FM.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Guess what, people? Wendy's has new saucy nugs. You heard me. Wendy's nugs now come in 7 saucy flavors. Buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, spicy ghost pepper. You can literally hear your taste buds after every bite. I'm serious. Listen to mine. Okay, that's just me playing with sound effects, but you got the idea. For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's.
Savings. Now that's speaking the Lowe's language. And when you join My Lowe's Rewards for free, the savings just keep coming. Save money with member-only offers, plus earn points when you shop. More points equal more rewards, just for you. Because Lowe's knows you earned it, literally. Learn more about our loyalty program at lowes.com/MyLowe'sRewards and become a member for free today. Program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. See lowes.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
You've got to watch your NFL team every Sunday, and Verizon's got you covered for all your team's out-of-market games every Sunday afternoon. Come on! From kickoff to sign-off, from first downs and touchdowns to turnovers and overturned plays.
After review, the pass was incomplete.
Nice! Let's go! This season, win every Sunday with Verizon. Get a great deal on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV and a new phone. Excludes digital-only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
The LGBTQ Center of Las Vegas provides a range of health and wellness services in a safe and non-judgmental environment. You can get fast and comprehensive HIV testing, as well as screening for STIs for little to no cost. Appointments are recommended, but walk-ins are welcome. Located in the heart of Las Vegas near downtown, the center also provides an on-site pharmacy. Get more information at thecenterlv.org. This message is sponsored by a grant through the Sands Corporation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Don't suffer through another summer on a sweaty old mattress. Get the latest in cooling technology from the brands you know and trust at Best Mattress. Sleep cool, be cool, and pay no interest for 72 months. Best Mattress, home of the Sleep Easy Guarantee.
101.5 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we return to the Mark Hoke Show, hour number 2 here on KDAWN 101.5 FM. The Talk of Las Vegas, streaming on the Odyssey app and also live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and X. The best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. Got to remind everybody, coming up also in Las Vegas, the Wrestle Connect show. Wrestling's fandom convention and expo here in Las Vegas. Saturday, September 14th, 10 to 5 at the Tuscany Suites and Casino in Las Vegas. If you want to get more information, give them a call, 702-459-7529. 702-459-7529. Or you can email them at shows@powerplaysportscards.com. They have a ton of great guests coming in there, so you might want to check that out. Look them up on Facebook and Instagram. That's Wrestle Connects. That's an X on the end. Wrestle, CONNEX. Should be a big show in September, so we're looking forward to hanging out with everybody over there at Wrestle Connects. Can't wait. Awesome time. Stephanie McMahon was hanging out at SummerSlam last night. Everybody was apparently thrilled to see her. She's still not back with the company yet in any role other than being Triple H's wife and mom to the kids. And another McMahon was running around Texas. I think Stu may have been the one to shoot the picture.
No. Nope, that's me.
He was the mutual friend.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Look, nope.
A photo got leaked. We'll just say leaked in quotes of Shane McMahon and Tony Khan at an airport in Arlington in an office. Chit-chatting. Of course, they had denied that they'd ever had any discussions about anything whatsoever Well, they were discussing something. Apparently, the rumors they were just talking about wrestling, getting to know each other a little bit. But of course, the internet is going wild and speculating about this. So here's the question, guys. If you're Tony Khan, do you bring in Shane McMahon? And even if it's an off-screen role, do you think it would be a good idea to have Shane McMahon be a part of AEW? Phil, I'll start with you on that.
I mean, from a business perspective, no. At the same time, I think of what happened when TNA brought in Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan, that they did give a lot of great insights on production, but then things didn't go their way. And when I look at how some other people have sort of taken and responded to being in AEW, I think Shane would sort of be like, hey guys, you need to do things this way, which means my way. And I don't know how much Tony Khan would stand for that.
Stu, you were ground zero on this. What are your thoughts?
Well, ground zero, about 3 hours north on I-35. No. Look, I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know what Shane McMahon adds, either on screen or off screen. Tony's got some great folks around him that can add, whether it's production or promos or whatever. So what does Shane McMahon add other than, horrible punches and excessive sweat?
Ooh, ouch.
And I could see, look, I can fathom the possibility of Tony bringing him just because his name's McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
But that feels really petty. Not that they haven't gotten petty before, but that feels petty, and that I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze.
Go
ahead, Phil. I'm sorry.
I was like, this is a rumor. So it was sort of like alleging seemingly before Tony and Sean met, there was this rumor that they were meeting. Sean actively said that was not true, and then it became true. But before even that, there was this rumor that Vince was interested in getting involved in AEW because now he has no more ties to TKO and WWE. Seemingly not allowed back. Hey, he might try to push the forbidden door at AEW.
The forbidden door?
The forbidden door.
Here's how I feel about this is I might take a flyer on him just to see if there's a place you could fit in, if there's some knowledge you can get from. You definitely get a ratings pop for him showing up on AEW TV. There's some positives to it, but I also understand where you guys are coming from as well, that, what does he really add to the company? Well, here's the problems that he had in WWE. I think a lot of it came down to he didn't like what was going on with his dad, and he kept leaving and trying to do other things because he didn't want to be connected with it anymore. But then, he'd keep coming back because, it's the family business. That how that works, guys. But I have a feeling it would be interesting just to, do a little consulting, pick up a little bit, talk to him, see what could possibly come of it, because it would be intriguing, I think, from a fan standpoint. And I think people would be tuning in if Shane McMahon was popping up on TV every once in a while. I agree with you, Stu. I think that you wonder what you could really bring in if it would just create conflicts. But would it hurt to give it a shot? I mean, really? When it comes down to it?
I think you could. I really do. Look, they got enough problems in the locker room, and I think we're going to discuss one of them. They got enough problems in the locker room. They don't need Shane McMahon there stirring things up even more.
Well, that's fair, Phil.
Well, one of the things I was trying to look up really quickly is, he did step down. So when he left WWE before, he went on to form tech firms in China. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't sure if he was still involved or not. So he also has a wealth of technology experience. Him and along with, I think it was Joey Styles, if my memory's serving me correctly, built the first WWE.com. And so, he has some technological awareness that he's been building on for years and years. Is a member of the International Sports Management Group. So he does have some other professional experience beyond just being a character on television. Now, whether or not he wants to still be a character on television versus like advising, hey, I know these things that could help you. What about this leverage? That may be the role he needs to take for the benefit of AEW.
Yeah, I think there's some possibilities, but Tony, I would agree, Stu, if Tony does it, he's got to tread very carefully on this.
I'll put it
very
short
carefully.
And the technology thing, look, Tony Khan, he's involved with the Jaguars, so he's got all the resources of the National Football League. He's also Fulham FC, so he's got all the resources of the Premier League. I think we can find some technology experts without having to pull in Shane McMahon.
Or you just make him a manager and see what happens too. You never know. But it'll be intriguing to see where all this ends up, if it goes anywhere. But yes, Shane McMahon and Tony Khan are having a little chit chat. Now, another thing that happened in AEW, and this is just unbelievable. So apparently Britt Baker was complaining about MJF in the locker room, and MJF's girlfriend, Alicia Talcott, was there and let MJF know this was going on. And Maxwell went down to the locker room. He didn't barge in. He asked if he could come in. They let him in. And he and Britt apparently got into it. And MJF got so mad he punched a wall. And the whole discussion ended up getting Britt suspended from AEW for a little while. She's still going to be wrestling it All In. But Mercedes Moné even took a little pot shot at it on Dynamite. But this was an intriguing little situation with Britt Baker and MJF, and Britt getting suspended. I mean, I could only imagine what got said in this whole thing, but what a mess that is, Stu, huh?
Look, I'm a huge fan of AEW. But really, I would really love to go a month without hearing about some sort of backstage incident or some sort of controversy. It's starting to become white noise at this point. It's like, okay, who else? Look, we've all been in situations. We don't like all of our coworkers. I get it. That makes sense. But all this stuff, it's like, really, again. And the fact that they suspended Britt but didn't suspend Max, what was said, what was thing. And of course, we'll never hear, we'll never find out, but man, it just feels it's so much
just
noise.
Another thing on the pile,
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
Come on, man, stop.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I think one thing that is interesting for AEW as opposed to WWE is because of the way their corporate structure is with AEW. They have to do things in a little more of a corporate-y manner as opposed to a wrestling manner. Whereas maybe you would handle things in the locker room, you all sit in an office, you talk and work it out and it's done. Whereas when in a corporate setting like that AEW is under with Jaguars and everything else, when something like this happens, HR is involved and, we've got to do an investigation and everything else. And then it gets all NDAs and the whole thing. And, that's a trick, I guess, for AEW being in the situation and the ownership that they're in, Phil.
That is true. I wish I knew. There's part of me that's like, I wish I knew more about what's going on. I don't want to know more about what's going on. To the same respect, that there's been so much rumor, innuendo, what people say and talk about, like if something happened to that level, because again, you've heard that version of the story of things that have happened, and if that's what happened, like that's interesting. Because then what is it that got her suspended and Max didn't get a reprimand? Something to me in my brain, I'm like, something else is up. We're not going to know the rest of the story. Yeah.
And it's very unfortunate because, these are two people that are at the center of All In. And the last thing that they needed right now was something like this going down. So, not good. By the way, there was a comment in the chat box. It's Jesse Hyde. If Stephanie McMahon returns to WWE in some role, does that mean Triple H and Stephanie run WWE while with Nick Khan, while Shane runs AEW with Tony Khan, and AEW fans will say, "We want Vince," as in Vinnie Mac. Oh dear God,
ain't gonna happen. It'll never happen.
No,
look, WWE fans don't want Vince.
No,
you think AEW fans are a little more, shall we say, politically versed? I guess best way to put. I don't know. No, you're not going to hear that. Look, we have seen the last. I pray we have seen the last of Vince McMahon involved in pro wrestling.
I would agree with that.
I don't care. In Shane McMahon coming to AEW, you're not going to hear those chants. No, there's no way on earth.
No, I can't imagine anybody wanting Vince back around with everything that he's done, and people just are so frustrated with everything that Vince did, and not just with the lawsuits and everything else, but over the years, the frustration and the things that they've seen that Vince has done that just don't make any sense. And no.
I mean, some of the people who were there at AEW who left WWE look at Vince and go, "That's why I left."
Yeah.
For all of the different reasons of him. So if he came back, like, would you see a run back to the WWE? Like,
probably. Oh my God. That's a terrible thought, and shame on you, Jesse Hyde, for even putting it in the chat box, but that's okay. But that's part of the fun. We talk about it. And we're going to take one more break and wrap the show up. Coming up on our final segment, Phil Stamper, Trust and Phil on X, Stu Myrick at Stu Myrick on X, and very happy to have them joining me here as we enter year number 4 of the Mark Hoke Show. Very excited for that, and thank all of you who have been listening, giving us some great ratings. We do appreciate it. We'll come back and talk a little more pro wrestling on the other side on the Mark Hoke Show. Stick around.
Personal injury law has been the same for a long time. Big egos, greed, and sleazy schemes. Big and loud doesn't always mean right, and the conventional mold doesn't define success. Goodbye, false quick buck promises. We've had enough. Welcome to Sam and Ash, the new standard for personal injury law, where things are done the right way, with integrity, experience, and authenticity. We're champions for the underdog. Life happens, and when you need help, you deserve a team without hidden agendas. A team that delivers real support and results. When you have both, your whole world can change. So if you've been hurt in a crash, call Sam and Ash, 702-303-0333. Sam and Ash, because you deserve what's right.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Guess what, people? Wendy's has new saucy nugs. You heard me. Wendy's nugs now come in 7 saucy flavors. Buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, spicy ghost pepper. You can literally hear your taste buds after every bite. I'm serious. Listen to mine. Okay, that's just me playing with sound effects, but you got the idea. For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's.
This is it. Shop the Lowe's closeout event to get up to 70% off select major appliances for your home. Plus, get up to 60% off select patio furniture and accessories for your outdoor spaces. So hurry into your local store today because these deals are too good to last. Shop them now before they're gone because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 8/7 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
1015 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
All right, let's do this one more time. Best in pro wrestling news and entertainment here in Las Vegas on The Mark Hoke Show. I am the aforementioned one, Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us. Phil Stamper joining us at Trust and Phil. Stu Myrick from Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. Look at that. And it's hooking horns and everything on the live stream. Just not letting it go, are you? Not letting it go.
We got just 4 weeks until they take the field.
Oh, trust me, I know.
We get college football back.
Stu, you have to come on SportsX Radio, which airs here Monday through Friday from 6 to 8.
I'd love to.
We'll get you back on.
Right.
And Mark, I've never and you because you always say I'm from Pro Wrestling Revolver. It's actually the Wrestling Revolver, and I'm not kidding.
I'm sorry. The Wrestling Revolver. All right. I apologize. My bad. Anyway, but we were talking about possible opponents for Gunther. There is a report out from Worked Wrestling on Twitter that apparently this is penned in. Now, whether it is or not for sure, who knows? But John Cena is apparently going to be one of Gunther's opponents. Do you like it, guys? John Cena taking on Gunther for the world title?
Why not? It's his swan song. He's going to do his retirement tour next year. He talked about it, when he announced, he talked about the fact, look, I'm not looking for a world title shot, but if I get one, why not? And of course, the story is right there. Can John Cena get world title number 17? Allegedly beat Ric Flair, although we know Ric Flair's had more than 16 world titles. But yeah, and I don't think John Cena is going to beat Gunther, but it'll sell tickets to see Gunther and John Cena.
Phil, you like this match?
It makes a really easy sell in an election year to have somebody chanting USA, USA. That's what it feels like to me. I mean, I hate that this is going to sound very stereotypical and probably maybe slightly racist, but to have somebody who's not from here going against the All-American John Cena, hero Marine John Cena, I think it's a very easy story to tell. It makes some sense. I felt this from the beginning. So when I say this next thing, this is how I have felt a long way. But now seeing that this could be where they build that, okay, he goes on to WrestleMania and he faces off Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. He wins it. Well, that was supposed to be his last match. Well, he can't just leave while he's holding the championship. So you stretch it out that much longer with him being the champion.
Yeah, he's said he's going to go till the end of 2025. So, oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine that though.
Yeah.
I mean,
the rough thing though that might happen is if Rock's in the picture for the Universal Championship and he gets the championship and you don't see Rock for a year after WrestleMania, and is Cena going to do the same thing at the same time? Like, that's where I start going,
Yeah, if it would happen, I think it would be one of those things where John would win the title and within a matter of weeks, either probably at the next PLE, if not sooner. I mean, maybe they even knock him off on Raw the next night. It would be a fast title reign.
Yeah.
If Cena won it and held it for 6 or 8 months, I think I don't know how fans would react to that. Yeah. So It's apparently on board, though. Get ready for Gunther and John Cena at some point. That'll be, it'll be fun. Poor John's going to get his chest turned into hamburger. I don't know if that'll look good on the movie set, but, it's all good. By the way, Phil, you were talking about politics, and I got two things I want to make sure we get in here before we get out of here. Did you see this, that apparently the Republicans and the Democrats have both approached Cody Rhodes?
What?
That's right.
The look on Stu's face, that blink you just made.
Here it is. In an interview with Gabby Laspisa, I hope I got that right. We're asked him, I guess, about if he was going to was interested in running for president someday. And he said, so it's funny, it's been brought a bunch up lately because, shocking as this might seem to people, we live in a side where it's really like you got your Democratic Party, you got your Republican Party. So if you get to fall in the moderate range anymore, even though so many of us have a moderate mindset, but I actually got approached by, I won't say people directly, but I got approached by individuals from both parties about potentially running for an office in Georgia. Cody Rhodes for president, everybody. What do you think? Phil,
no. For the love of God, no.
I mean,
A, he takes a pay cut.
Yeah.
And B, he's too busy. He's too busy being champion.
Right. Oh my God. I read this. I couldn't believe it. But it could just be for a local office or something like that. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
But wow, Cody Rhodes being approached by both parties.
I mean, Kane's the mayor of Knox County, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Rhino ran for office in Michigan. Not Mike. Oh my goodness, I can't think of the. There's other individuals in the world of professional wrestling that have gone on to go for political office, and why not in Georgia? The Rhodes family's a no-name. Runnels family, he would stand a good chance in whatever if he went in that path. He knows how to speak and orate in front of a group of people. He can do that very well. So
yes, you're right, but he just stay away from politics. Look, I've worked in state government, Texas state government for 30 years. Stay away from politics.
Yeah, Cody, don't do it.
No.
Don't do it, man. Just sign autographs till you're 70. It's all good, brother. Come on. Don't. Do yourself a favor.
Or like other presidents, that's when you run. Sorry. We're stop. I'm not that president. Not that kind of president.
Oh.
Hey, by the way, did you hear Mark Henry's son, Jacob, signing with WWE?
That was the other story that I was going to bring up. And that took place on Thursday at his Mark
Remix
Henry is doing
Rumble.
some DJing at Remix Rumble.
Yeah.
And that Jacob Henry, the son of WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, has signed with WWE. So after he finishes up college in Oklahoma, we get another Henry going at it. And Jacob's a beast, by the way.
Dude, okay, I know Jacob very well. I covered him in high school football. He played defensive line, and then his senior year played offensive line. He is a beast, but he is such a good kid, so well spoken, such a wonderful individual, so talented. Not to mention, he is, I think, this past year was ranked number 6 in Texas high school wrestling as well. So he's got talent. He was with Mark every time I saw, backstage at AEW, he was with Mark. And Jacob will make a fantastic pro wrestler. Now, yes, he's going to go wrestle for that god-awful school north of the Red River. But, I'll root for Jacob. I love Jacob to death. I won't root for the school, but I'll root for Jacob. But yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun to see if once that happens. Now, he did say Mark has told him he's got to get his college degree first. So it may be 3 or 4 years before we see Jacob show up at the Performance Center. But still, Jacob Henry is a fantastic young man, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch him develop.
Yeah. So looking forward to seeing another Henry. And if he's anything like his dad, it's going to be great. It'll be terrific to have him in pro wrestling. Guys, we are just about out of time. How about that? That 2 hours just flew. It's amazing. But I want to give you guys a thanks for being a a part of my show. And of course, we head into year 4, third year anniversary right now, and means the world to me. So thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate you, John, not only his colleagues, but his friends. You're the best. So thank you to Phil Stamper and Stu Myrick.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Guys, we're going to be back next week with another great show, but follow us on YouTube as we're putting up all sorts of stuff over there. Subscribe real quick. It takes you a couple of seconds. It's The Mark Hoke Show. And you can follow us on X at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show. We got Instagram, TikTok, and all that stuff. So, check it out. Be a part of it. And, of course, go to markhokeshow.com. We'll see you next week. On behalf of Phil Stamper at Trust and Phil on X, Stu Myrick at Stu Myrick, of course, doing his Sports Guys Talk Wrestling, and the Wrestling Revolver for Phil Stamper. I made sure I got that right. We will see you next week. Have a great day, everybody.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show, and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join the Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
Teeth are amazing. That's why at Affordable Dentures and Implants,